All right, so here's my street twin. I just picked it up yesterday down in San Diego. I drove all day yesterday. I woke up like at 5 o'clock in the morning. Drove all day yesterday and made it up to LA and had dinner with some friends down in LA. And actually I spent the night at T was it Tijon Pass, I think it is. You know, when you go up the Grapevine or before going down the Grapevine. So I spent the night there and I woke up seven this morning and finally made it home and took the bike on the spin. I couldn't wait. So yeah, so street twin, 900cc, 270-degree crank. So basically, it's that the power delivery is how it feels. The character that it has is it's just like a 90-degree V twin. So this one has the guy that bought this thing. He just had another baby recently, so he couldn't afford to keep the bike. So it barely has any miles on it at all. It only has like 2,200 miles, 2,300 miles on it. A year old. He bought it a year ago. So I swooped in on it. Got a good deal on it. It's a little bit looking closer. It's a little bit corroded here and there because the guy lives, like I said, down in San Diego, but he lives like literally like a block away from the beach, so you can see all the a little bit of corrosion, and he didn't have see this corrosion, some corrosion, even though it only has 2,000 miles or so. Corrosion, but he lived right off the beach, about a block away from the beach, and he doesn't have a garage, so he had a bike cover, but bike cover, it's still basically still outside. It's still the moisture still still there, so a little bit here and there, but besides that it's fine. Let's see, he got the dual pipe option, twin pipes on both sides. Right. So it sounds really, really nice. Very deep, very throaty. Basically, just like a 90-degree V twin, basically, for the most part, is how it sounds. So yeah, so I like it. It's the torque is the torque is great. The torque feels just about the same, more or less about the same as my my XSR 900. Obviously the horsepower was down, almost a little bit above half of the horsepower that the XSR 900 has, but this bike is not, it's not a high performance bike. It's just meant to cruise around. So it's very fun. That this engine is I really like it. So yeah. Let's see. So my initial impressions, I just came back from a ride just right now of it, is that the suspension is a little bit on the soft side. I mean, the preload here is set to the softest, so I need to probably set it up to the next one, but the front fork here has no preload at all, so it's a little, the front actually is not that bad. It's just on this ride alone, the front felt slightly firmer than the rear, so I think I just need to set one more preload on the rear, and it probably evens it out. But it's still still a soft suspension. It's very comfortable. It's a very comfortable suspension. A very cushy suspension. It's not it's not set up to be very sporty. Like a very sporty or very firm. So it's a very cushy suspension. The handling wise, it handles really well. The wheelbase is kind of long. It feels a little long, because I'm used to shorter wheelbases. Now some of you guys know that I used to have a W650, Kawasaki W650, year 2000, and and that bike I really like that bike, but it had tube tires, spoke wheels, so it used tubes. That's the main reason why I got rid of it. I just don't trust running a tube for road trips, because when you get a puncture, that's a real pain in the butt to fix. But with a tubeless, this thing is tubeless. You just rope plug it, take 5-10 minutes and you're on your way, So that's why I got rid of like the Kawasaki. So let me compare that to this. Actually, I'll compare it on another video. Let's go back to the impressions that I have. So it has a slipper clutch and also a clutch assist. So it's very the clutch is actually very soft. It's even softer than my XSR 900, and that one has a clutch assist and slipper clutch as well. So it's softer than that even. So it's even easier to pull. The seat height's very low. I think I can't remember what the number was. Was it 27 or 29 inches, something like that? Maybe it's 29 inch. Anyways, the seat height's pretty low, easily flat-footed, which is not really a concern to me. But the thing is that when the seat height's low, seat height to foot peg is a little bit on the low side as well, or close. So my legs, I have a 30-inch inseam, so my legs felt slightly cramped. I really like my XSR. My legs feel nice and roomy. On my CB300, that one my legs also feel a little cramped as well. And that one actually, I'm using different foot pegs on it, so it's actually lower by about half an inch compared to the original, but it still feels a little cramped. Similar to this, it would have been cool if they made the foot control a little bit more forward. It's because it's pretty much almost right underneath you, almost, not quite. You can see where the seat is to where the foot is, so it's slightly forward, of the seat, but it still feels like it's below you, and it still feels a little cramped. If they had moved that maybe another, I don't know, 4 inches or so forward, and not making it forward controls, but making it more like a mid controls, I think it would have felt really well. It would have felt like it fit a lot better and roomier in the legs. The pipe sounds fantastic. Very deep, very throaty. With that 270-degree crank, it really does sound just like a 90-degree V twin, and it feels just like one too. Let's see. So seat height, suspension, exhaust sound, clutch was cool. So the shifter was actually a very smooth, very positive clicks. And you click from one gear to the next, it's very positive. It's one of the most positive clicking shifters I've ever felt. So that was cool too. So I like that. Brakes are good. They're adequate. They're definitely not as, being only one disc, they're not as good as say a sports bike where you have 2 discs. But it felt good. Rear brake felt good too. Let's see what else about this bike. The frame felt it didn't feel flexy. Even the fork, it didn't feel flexy. On my W650, the fork felt slightly flexy, so I put a super brace on here. This one I don't think I need it, but who knows, I might put a super brace on it just because I like to ride, it I tend to ride kind of fast, even on this type of bike. So slightly more performance would be cool. And I'm actually considering replacing the suspension, even though this one's actually okay for what it is, because I like to do spirited riding. I might replace it with Öhlins front and rear, so that's about $2,000. So I'm still undecided on that. I might put in stainless steel brake lines for the brake lines, so you get a little bit better feel in the brakes. What else would I do? I think that's about it. Everything else is fine. It doesn't have a tachometer, so I kind of missed that. I'm not sure. You never know exactly where you're at, but you just go by the feel of the bike and the sound. If you're going faster, then obviously you can't use the sound, but the feel of the bike, you don't know. This bike is only a 5-speed, so gear shifter is only a 5-speed. So the gears are not, it's not like a sports bike where you have a close ratio 6-speed, where each ratio is pretty close to each other. This one, the spread on the gears is a little bit further apart, and the gears also tend to be a little bit taller too. For example, if I compare it to my XSR 900, gear to gear, on this bike, the gearing is a little bit taller. gear to gear. So only a 5 speed, and really realistically, that's all you need. You don't need nothing more than a 5 speed. Even in fifth gear, with the torque that this engine has, it still pulls. So that's cool right there. I like that aspect of it. Let's see what else about this bike. Yeah, it's a fun bike. I just went when I bought this, and I test rode it, and it felt alright, but on a quick test ride you really can't tell. So I just came back from a quick mountain ride, probably about an hour or so, maybe 20 miles, well maybe more like 30 miles. So about an hour or so ride, maybe less than an hour, about 30 miles, and it felt really good. I really like it. Handles well, brakes well. Everything just comes together. It just rides really well. Very well balanced. Very well balanced. Doesn't need much, like I said, maybe if I want a little bit more performance in the suspension and slightly firmer, I might upgrade to Öhlins front and rear, and probably put in stainless steel braided brake lines, and that's about it. I don't see myself needing to do anything else. As is, it's out of the box. It's really nice. That's the thing that I like about that's the thing I like about European brand bikes. They're a little bit more premium. You pay a little bit more, but usually right out of the box, they're pretty good. It's not much needs to be done compared to, say, the Japanese bikes. Out of the box, that's always it could be better. Especially suspension could always be better for sure. Little quirks here and there that's not quite not quite premium or whatever. So this bike feels very premium, very high end feeling. Fit and finish is fantastic. Yeah, so hopefully this thing will be reliable. Because this one's a keeper. I'm keeping this one. I don't see myself wanting another big bike besides this one. The funny thing is, when I sold my W650, I told myself that was the last big bike I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna get another big bike, but then I missed the power, so that's why I got the XSR 900. And the XSR 900, it's like too much. That's just too much bike. That bike is trouble. It really is. It's trouble. Every time I jump on that thing, because it has so much power, it's just like can't help myself. And it's just just a little twitch of your wrist, and the front ends up in the air. It's that bike is trouble. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to keep that bike or not. I might keep it just for every once in a while. I might if I miss the thrill of the power that it has, I might keep it just for that. Outside of that, man, that bike is just too much bike, too much for the street. It's just too much, man. And I'm a fairly mature rider, and I still find that it's just too much bike. So this one is like perfect. It's about 60 horsepower, so about the same amount of torque as my XSR 900, but excuse me, that's torque. Horsepower is also about 60 horsepower, which is a little bit more than half in compared to my Yamaha. But that's perfect. 60 horsepower is like perfect for the street. You really don't need more than that. The feel of it, how it accelerates, plenty of torque, very linear. The torque curve is very flat. Horsepower kicking in is very linear. So it's like very I think it's actually very friendly, very easy to ride actually. Of all the bike companies, usually it's Honda that's known to be very easy to ride, but this thing is like really easy to ride. I was like, wow. I was like, wow, I was impressed by that. Let's see. So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Everything about this bike looks pretty sweet. So yeah. Alright, so thanks for watching. Next video I'll do a comparison between this and my W650. Obviously I don't have my W650 anymore because I sold it a couple years ago, but I'll just talk about the two. Thanks for watching.